This is Kota Kinabalu in Sabah, formerly North Borneo, since 1963 part of East Malaysia, affectionately known as KK. Every year we have a staff outing. We find the destination with the cheap airfares, reasonably priced hotels, and great food, and do a 4-day, 3-night trip for under $300 per person, all inclusive. I mean food, taxis, trips, boats, planes, hotels, even coffee. It's famous for Mount Kinabalu, 13,000 feet above sea level, where the temperature is significantly cooler and the scenery beautiful. A visit to the islands is a must. We paid about $100 to charter a boat for the day, all inclusive. The islands offer water sports, diving, parasailing, and there's much to offer for the adventurous and striking views for the photographers. We visited 3 of the islands and enjoyed dining next to the sea. The locals very friendly. Seafood here is cheap, and we had some great meals here. The mosque, magnificent. The university has to be unique. This is the student beach. Finally, a visit to the Heritage Museum to see how the indigenous people lived before their land was acquired by others. What a place! What an experience! Do we ever have fun? So come and enjoy it with us. We started out in Hong Kong, 6 of us. Took the airport train to the gate. In about 2 minutes we arrived. Without doubt, this is my favorite airport in the world. Clean, modern, and hype-free. Starbucks coffee to make me feel good.
Just what I needed.
9:55 flight on Air Asia.
All checked in and ready to go.
Just over 3 hours later we were emerging from the airport in KK. Taxis are cheap here, and all 6 of us can fit into a 7-seater for the 10-minute drive downtown. As you can see, very close to the city, so the trip is quick and cheap. And in all the time we were there, nobody tried to rip us off. In fact, quite the opposite. Everybody was friendly, fair, and helpful. Our hotel, the Klagen, very nice. A welcome drink, and ready to go. Nice view from the room. We've decided to have a snack for lunch, the renowned satay. We've been informed on the best place in town to get it, so we took a walk. Temperature, a warm 33 degrees. The best satay is behind the Horizon Hotel. The walk gives us a chance to get the feel of the place. The restaurant, by the way, was cheap, and the satay excellent. And fresh calamansi juice. That's a cross between an orange and a lime.
Actually, it's quite hot.
The temperature, that is, but also the satay. 3 choices: chicken, beef, and pork. They soon disappeared, but more came. When we choose a restaurant, we choose the one that's crowded. Then out to the city to explore. It's always hot here. It may rain, it may blow, but it's always tropical. The people, my kind of people, friendly, and fun. Most spoke a little English, but I speak Cantonese, as most Chinese here do, so I had some amusing exchanges, as many here had not heard an Englishman speak Chinese. The market was fascinating, the stalls offering super fresh seafood. That means it's alive when you arrive. And the smoke an inevitable inconvenience, though the smells were tantalizing. Fresh fruit drinks also tempting the passerby. This guy had iced lollies. The girls, local delicacies. I had to ask what some things were.
This bread? Coconut. Oh, very good.
The fish were 7 ringgit a kilo. That's $1.80 a kilo, about 80 cents a pound. Lobster, tiger prawns, crab and shellfish, all cheap and fresh.
This what?
I got a cookery lesson here.
Coconut, yeah? Curry, so it's coconut curry.
No, buttercream.
Buttercream.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Conch available and very tasty.
So conch, a bit conch this.
All this is happening in the market that is right next to the fishing pier on the waterfront, as the boats line up to offload their catches. The market reminded me of Sweet Molly Malone, the Alive Alive obit, though some had been decapitated for the fish head soup. It was certainly an experience just to stroll around and observe and soak, on this occasion, not in the atmosphere of history, but in the ambience of life in a tropical fishing port. Sights and sounds, not forgetting smells, here delighting the palate of the soul, giving us a taste of KK life. And at the same time, offering us a taste. The juxtapositioning of nature's glory and life's necessities. A chicken wing costs 40 cents, but you can get 10 for $4. That's called supermarket logic. I love walking around chatting, having a joke.
What's your name?
Riyadh.
Siat.
Yeah.
2,
3.
2.5.
Bananas, $2 a bunch. The amazing sunset comes free. This is not the South Pacific, it's the South China Sea. These school children were having fun. As the sun goes down, I get that great to be here feeling. though one can argue that pollution awareness is low. The promenade, the place to be at sunset. But as the sun goes to bed for the night, it's time to savor the culinary delights of KK. And the Welcome Seafood Restaurant offers good food at good prices in noisy surroundings. Tong choy, ginger chicken, steamed prawns, fried rice, all super fresh. Chili crab, a Malaysian delicacy. Fried noodle, steamed fish, and the bill was around $10 a head. Fantastic day. Get ready for day 2. It's even better. We were staying on the next to top floor of the hotel, and the breakfast was on the top floor. The view on this sunny morning as we ate was uplifting and refreshing. The hotel certainly provided a good breakfast, except for the coffee. Everything else was good. Breakfast with a view looking over the islands and over the city, which is impressive for both its cleanliness and beauty. The fishing jetty right next to the market, clearly a hub of daily life here, providing the seafood that is so important. Temperature 32 Celsius, about 90 Fahrenheit, but the humidity is around 85. Ouch. The city is waking up. The fishing boats getting ready for the day. Meanwhile, we're getting ready for the day. Today we'll take a trip up into the mountains, Mount Kinabalu, and enjoy a day in nature. We've booked a car for the day. My good friend Dean is our driver, and we are about to take the 2-hour trip to Kinabalu Park in his 7-seater taxi. $120 US for the trip. First part of the trip was traveling southeast up the coast. About halfway, we stopped to walk across the Tampuruli suspension bridge. We've been traveling an hour, so it's a halfway stopover to stretch the legs and enjoy the views and get a selfie. This bridge, really amazing, and in the midst of countryside and on a beautiful day. There's a local market here, and some other tourist attractions tempt the visitor. As we continued our ascent, I noticed the temperature dropping. For every 1,000 feet, the temperature drops 3.5 degrees Fahrenheit. As we'll ascend to over 3,000 feet, we can expect about a 10-degree drop in temperature. Were we going to the top of Mount Kinabalu, it could well be below zero in the tropics. There are several stop-off points to observe Kinabalu, but it's only clearly visible early morning. After that, the clouds envelop it. It's actually a nice experience to come out of the tropical heat and humidity. And after an hour, we're enjoying a very pleasant temperature. I've been here several times. One thing I love about Mount Kinabalu is this change, not only in scenery but in climate. In this respect, Kota Kinabalu offers great diversity. The flora here is fascinating. We see plants we've never seen before. In fact, I think I've just discovered a new species of plant. Whilst on that subject, a recent botanical survey of the mountain estimated a staggering 5,000 to 6,000 plant species, which is more than all of Europe and North America combined. It's one of the world's most prolific biological sites.
When the sun comes out up here on the mountaintop, it's very beautiful. Lots of flowers, beautiful mountains, beautiful clouds. A great experience.
Dean was an excellent driver and a lot of fun. We soon arrived at the park and decided to enjoy a meal in the hills. The Kinabalu Park Lodge has an excellent restaurant and more examples of fascinating flowers. The Chinese for this means literally upside down golden bell, and I know it's red. Excellent facilities here, and outdoor dining on the balcony. We met these great guys from the Netherlands enjoying a meal.
Is it good?
What?
Is it good?
It's very good. Really good.
And where are you from?
Holland.
Holland. Wow.
And we decided to have lunch here. A pleasant breeze, in great surroundings, excellent food. A 3-course meal cost about $6.50. While we waited for the food, I explored a little. A beautiful place.
Okay, this is Kota Kinabalu Park, and a beautiful place up in the mountains, and we're going to have a great lunch here of Malaysian food.
Cucumber soup. I never tried this before.
Very nice, big pieces of cucumber inside the soup.
Great staff. The food, stir-fried veggie, chicken curry, sweet and sour dory fish, and a green booster drink made up of fruits and vegetables. Actually, it was a great meal, healthy, and having great variety.
The temperature up here in the hills is only 23 degrees. There's a nice breeze, and so it's just a great pleasure to eat out here on the balcony.
Then back on the road with Dean. Just up the road, a great view of the mountain. When we first arrived, the summit was actually clearly seen, but by the time I took out my camera, the cloud was moving in. This is the summit. The views were stunning. We even saw mountain squirrels. Could they jump? We didn't make the summit, but we saw it. Then we visited the Botanical Garden. This flower is called a medinilla, one of the 5,000 to 6,000 flora species. We enjoyed a walk through the forest, but unfortunately didn't see any orangutan, though there are some here. We then continued to a small town nearby to have a look around the shops there. The rainfall here making it a green paradise. Satay, anybody? On the way back, the clouds were already swirling around the tops of the hills. What I call the dynamic shots. The clouds creating new dimensions. We then made our way back to the town as the sun set. Dean told us we could arrange a boat at Jesselton Point. So we met up with Malik, sat on the jetty, and chartered a boat for a trip to the islands the next day. A 12-seater speedboat that cost about $100 for the day, though there's a jetty fee and an island tax per passenger. We set up the deal and then enjoyed another beautiful Sabah sunset. Then it's time to eat, and on the way we encountered the local evening choir. Brown-capped woodpeckers in their hundreds serenaded us. Malaysian food courts are legendary, so we decided to get a cheap, quick meal. There was certainly a great variety of food available. Local food, Japanese, milkshakes, other drinks. Here's the local noodle, the Japanese noodle. I had the Singapore vermicelli.
6 of us ate for $12.50 US.
At the price, unbeatable. One last stop, a hot chocolate in Starbucks, who had a great staff.
And Jamil always smiling. This is Aziz.
Another great day, meeting great people. But tomorrow we go into the islands. Day 3. First things first. Coffee. Believe it or not, this is Wellyman. At first I thought he was a Welshman. It's people like these that make a holiday enjoyable. Great guys.
Starbucks in hand, heading to the ferry, take a boat to the islands.
It's about a 20-minute walk. So far, this holiday has been a fantastic experience, and today threatens to be even better. Another beautiful day weather-wise. The city is well awake. I definitely have that good to be alive feeling. There's hardly a cloud in the sky, though Siri did forecast there may be rain. We prayed hard for a sunny day. I like boats.
I have to say the sunshine is beautiful. It's just a pleasure to walk down here on such a morning. Whoa. In the end, we chartered a boat for the day, and everything in, it cost just less than $100 for a 12-man boat. We just have 6 of us, but pretty good deal.
We soon arrived at Jesselton Point, from where all the boats leave. British foam boxes with German names. Malik is waiting for us. He was a great help. Everything is ready. We're off to the boat. Life vests a must. We're not the only ones. We'll be visiting 3 of the 5 islands. The first is around 15 minutes away on the speedboat. Malik sees us off, and the adventure begins. There's nothing quite like cruising on the sea or on a river, be it on a fast speedboat or an ocean-going liner. The first thing I'm noticing about this place is the air is relatively clean. It's noticeable. Though traveling across the water here, there's quite a lot of boat traffic. Everybody is heading to the islands. The first thing that comes to mind as we head out is to compare with Phuket. It's just a year since we did that trip. The boat here is significantly cheaper, faster, and the trip better. Malik even offered a buffet seafood meal on the island for $12, but we declined. Though that is excellent value. Phuket is different, but if you ask me which I prefer, KK gets my vote. Though both places are touristy, I felt KK was more laid back. Sure, Phuket is beautiful, but judge for yourself. KK, without doubt, is also a tropical paradise. This is our boat, and we're arriving at Sapi Island. Actually the smallest of the 5 islands, but the closest to KK, being only 7 kilometers away. The crystal clear water, sandy beaches, coral reef, and water sport activities make it a great place to visit. The water is so clear. Scuba diving lessons, anybody? The scenery, stunning in every direction. So we walked up the jetty to explore a little. I must admit I'm torn between filming and partaking in all the fun that's going on around me. The water is so clear one can sit and watch the fish without having to bother getting in the water. We're planning on spending an hour or so in each place.
Some of these places are just like Paradise Island. I just gotta keep my clothes on today.
What will be the first thing you'll do on an island that features crystal clear water? Snorkeling, of course. And snorkeling at Sapi Island is fun since the water is clear and you can see different kinds of fish near the beach. Even the visitor who can't swim can simply view things from the boat. It's a great place to be. Even if swimming is not your thing, the vivid colors of the tropical greenery and ocean spectacular. Of course it's hot, but out here there's a breeze. We didn't feel uncomfortably hot. The beaches are safe and patrolled by professional lifeguards. What does a purple flag mean? Marine pest in the water.
Somehow, they must have found out I was coming.
Turned out to be for a jellyfish, which I hear is not a usual occurrence on Sapi. Okay guys, get ready for the next island. I still don't believe the clarity and color here. A photographer's dream. So we climb aboard. Palau Mamutik, here we come. After seeing Sapi Island, our next stop was Mamutik Island, just a few minutes away. We leave Sapi and quickly travel on. Mamutik Island is no less beautiful than Sapi. The ocean is a kaleidoscope of colors. The islands, like Phuket in Thailand, paint a picture of a tropical paradise. When I looked down, I saw a battery of barracuda swimming up close to the shore. I've encountered them before, diving in Jamaica and Eilat. Here the clear water made them even visible from the boat. It was great just to enjoy the ambience and scenery. Lots of things happening all around. Places to eat or have a drink. Or to enjoy a swim. There were people here from all over Asia. The combination of tropical paradise and very reasonable prices for airfares, hotels, food and transport all make it an attractive place to visit. The jungle just on the doorstep. KK in the distance. Then we had a drink, $1.50 for fresh orange juice, and a chat with the locals. They were tourist guides with a nice view. Then on to the next island. There are 5 islands and we elected to visit 3 of them. When one charters a boat, the boatman will wait in the harbour. The abundance of fish here is amazing. I suppose that's why the barracuda come. Most people do what we did and visit more than one island, though it's actually much cheaper to visit just one island and arrange the time of the pickup. We then made our way to the final destination, where we'd planned to eat lunch. The meals on the island tended to be more expensive than in the city, but it was nice to be able to eat in exotic surroundings. Again, the trip only took a few minutes, and we were arriving at Manukan Island. Again, there was an abundance of fish, though I noticed the black sea anemones were also plentiful. They have a nasty sting. Manukan was slightly bigger than the other islands, and our plan was to eat here. All the 3 islands are close together, and the survival island featured on TV is 30 minutes away to the south. Though the weather forecast a little rain, it was still sunny. The island has some villas where tourists can stay the night. They look very nice and were not too expensive. Certainly they had beautiful views over the sea. We took a stroll around to where the restaurants were. The island is very nice and has many exotic plants. It was a peaceful place just to stroll around, though there are plenty of activities for the adventurous and plenty of places to eat, all with great views. We decided to eat at Sands Bar, which was an excellent location and the most beautiful waitresses on the island. Anybody for a young coconut?
So we are about to eat. We're going to have some chicken wings, some noodles, and some fried rice, and some nice drinks.
Prawn noodles, deep fried chicken wings, and fish. A tasty treat. And a ginger lemon drink. Very nice. Now this island does not just have exotic plants. The animals are amazing. This is a water monitor lizard, Varanus salvator. This one is quite large, about 8 feet long. It has a long forked tongue for smelling. Common in Southeast Asia, monitor lizards are bigger than iguanas, but smaller and less vicious than Komodo dragons. This one was being thrown scraps of raw chicken and posed for me. I'd seen them before in Sarawak. They're not venomous, but their oral bacteria will severely infect a bite. We had a stroll after lunch and sat and enjoyed the views. The cool breezes, making the day a pleasant experience. Visitors from mainland China here, making my shots even more colorful, and not an umbrella in sight. Though plenty of hats, including mine. But it's time to leave. We have a dinner date in KK. For me, this boat ride is part of the fun. We soon reached Jesselton Point. Kota Kinabalu was formerly known as Jesselton. It now has a population of about 500,000. Jesselton Point waterfront is the place from which most of the ferries depart. It provides great views, restaurants, and is a beautiful place. We then walked back to our hotel to prepare for dinner. As usual, passing unusual sights on the way. As we reached the market, I was impressed by what I call an umbrella tree that provided shade, but I have no idea what tree it is. As soon as we reached our hotel, it started raining, but fortunately, it was a quick shower, and after we'd freshened up, it had already stopped, and we were soon enjoying the sunset as we walked to the Meridian Hotel for a special dinner. The sunset was special too. The Meridian is one of the best eating places in town, and we were ready for it. I can tell you their food and service was excellent. Sirloin steak and seafood platter that included lobster, prawns, mussels, and fish. A great way to end a great day. And more to come. Our last day. We're leaving this afternoon, and we decided to take a look at the sights of the city of Kota Kinabalu with our faithful friend Dean on another beautiful day. And a couple of miles out of the city was the Kota Kinabalu City Mosque, opened in the year 2000 at a cost of $8.5 million US. The design based on the Nabawi Mosque, the second holiest site in Islam in Medina, Saudi Arabia. The dome is blue and gold, inspired by Islamic designs. It's certainly an impressive monument, the surrounding moat giving rise to its nickname, the Floating Mosque. We then continued north, passing the municipal buildings on our way to visit another beautiful part of Kota Kinabalu, the University of Malaysia, Sabah. After registering, we began to explore. It's a beautiful modern campus, and Dean, our driver, wanted to show us one of its unusual assets. He then drove us to the marine department near to the seashore. That had striking views over the sea. KK in the distance. A long pier allowing for boat traffic, and beautiful white sand beaches, more like a resort hotel than a university.
This is the Kota Kinabalu University, the University of Sabah, and their marine department is here, and this beach is the student beach.
My first impression was wow. My first question was, where are the students? Clearly they're a hard-working bunch. Nobody's here. We then visited the Marine Museum and Aquarium. A superb Bajau boat is on display here, intricately carved. Inside, an excellent aquarium. We then went back into town to get a view over the city from above.
This has been a very enjoyable place to visit. There's been a lot of diversity and a lot of things that we did, and it's been a really good holiday.
Last stop, the Museum of Sabah, divided into two parts. First place we visited was the outdoor heritage village with replicas of the houses of the original tribes of Sabah. In times past, I remember visiting the Rungus tribe, and a replica of a longhouse is here. It was over 30 years ago I visited. Many of the original tribal homes are represented, Inside the main museum was the skeleton of a bride's whale and a special exhibition of nurses' uniforms and medical equipment from former times. It was very well laid out and included historical insights back to when it was a British colony. By the way, as soon as we define a colony, we realize that many parts of Asia are now colonized by Asian countries. I believe it's called liberating now. There are even some zoological exhibits. It was indeed a very impressive museum and was very interesting to see. But it's time to leave. The last supper is at the airport. Local food. Sambal prawn, laksa, Singapore noodle, lobster ball noodle. Very nice food. One last stop, Starbucks. Did you know they sell 4 billion cups a year?
Now that was one great holiday.
As I look out the window, I have to say, this was a fabulous holiday. I'll be back.